Destiny. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And on this channel, we talk about topics such as business, side hustles, and entrepreneurship. So if those topics interest you, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you 10 questions you need to ask when it comes to choosing a business credit card. So yes, we're still talking about business credit, and this topic is very important because there's so many different things that we can cover. So today it's all going to be about the different questions you need to ask different lenders or banks. What exactly am I getting with your business credit card? So the first question I like to ask is, what will be my credit limit? And this can be a tricky one because sometimes, depending on who you already bank with, they might need to run your credit first, but then sometimes they can pre-authorize you based on your previous transactions and your history with that bank. You want to make sure that when it comes to your business credit card that you are getting a good limit. Of course, like when it comes to me, I like to go with the charge card. So I love my American Express cards because they typically don't have a preset spending limit. And as long as you continue to pay your bills on time, you won't get hit with the limit. And then also you have some where they might give you either about 10 to 30,000 per month. Like if a lot of people bank with Navy Federal, average they tend to start you off with 10 to 25,000 based on your credit history. So that's a good question to ask. What is gonna be my credit limit? Going on to number 2. The second question I like to ask is, what is going to be my interest rate? And with this question, you can pretty much see the interest rates online. Like they'll give you a general ballpark, and a lot of it is based on your credit history. So when you're taking a look at these interest rates, it's important to know what is the average for this time frame right now. So at the time that I'm recording this video, the average right now is between 18 through 20%. So that's the normal rate that's going for business credit cards right now. So you need to make sure that you're being charged at least within that range or lower. You can always contact them like, hey, are you willing to lower it? And worst case scenario, they can say no, but it's always great to ask. So that's why I have that as question number 2. Now moving on to question number 3. The next thing I like to ask is, what is the grace period for the interest to start? So with some places, interest might start after a month. It might start after 25 days. They might give you 90 days, no interest. But you need to ask, what is the grace period? Because a lot of times when you first sign up for a company, like most of the times I often see it's going to be 90 days. Sometimes you might get it up to a year. You can also give them a call over the phone to see if they're willing to extend it, because it never hurts to ask. But yes, taking a look into that grace period so you know when it comes to your spending and rolling over different purchases from month to month, you know how much interest you're going to be charged and you know exactly when it's going to start. For number 4, the next question that I like to ask is, do they have an introductory / promotional rate? When does it start? When does it end? And what is the offer? So a lot of the times, especially with business credit cards, they might offer you points. So I know I mentioned American Express a lot, but my introductory rate for my business platinum card was I got 100,000 points for signing up at the time. But when I did it on the personal side, I got 150,000 points. So it all depends on, one, they're going to tell you you need to spend, let's say that you need to spend 6,000 within the first 3 months. In order to get those 100,000 points, you need to make sure that you're spending that $6,000. And I always say when it comes to credit cards, sometimes if you can't get the points based on spending 6,000 because you don't normally spend 6,000, don't go overboard when it comes to spending. Sometimes you might have to just miss out on it because you don't want to go into debt trying to get some points. So that's very important. And you need to know these different time frames. Like sometimes the introductory offer, like we said in the last one, it might be the APR, like they're not going to charge interest for 90 days or even up to 6 months. So you just need to know, like, what exactly are you looking for when it comes to a promotional offer or an introductory offer, and making sure you know when exactly it ends so you can meet the requirements for it, or you can know, for an example, when interest starts. So that's another key question that you need to be asking these banks when it comes to getting your business credit card. The next question you need to ask is, what happens if you fall behind on your payments? So this is important because no one plans on falling behind on their payments. We don't plan for hard times to come up. Everyone thinks that everything is going to be great, but we need to take into account what is going to happen if we do fall apart. Like some credit card companies have different programs to help you get caught up, while you have others that might be charging you penalties, late fees. Like if you have the American Express Business Platinum card, if you fall too behind, instead of having the preset spending limit, you are going to get hit with the credit limit that you can't go over. And that is going to be based on your spending habits. So you need to start seeing like, okay, are you going to charge me different late fees? How much is the late fee? When is the late fee added? How much time am I going to have? Is it going to affect my credit history? Is my credit limit going to drop? Because that's an important question to ask. Like, is my credit limit going to drop? What is going to be the penalty for me falling behind? And this is going to be different for each bank. So you need to, before you apply, you need to know this information, so that way you don't have them running your credit history. When this question is asked, you don't like the response, so you can move on to the next company. The next question you need to ask is, do they offer fraud protection? And this is very important because when it comes to a credit card, the reason we're using this is to have that extra line of support, and then also make sure that we're protected when it comes to our funds. So if someone takes our card and uses it, so 3 things. You need to make sure it covers online purchases, in-store purchases, and over the phone purchases. So those 3, you need to make sure that you are covered. And when I say cover, you need to make sure that it's 0 liability. So that means if you did not authorize that purchase, your credit card company is going to give you your money back 100%. So you need to ask them, what is the process? How do I file a claim? What is the average success rate of claims? What is your turnaround time? When can I expect my money back? That is most importantly. So you need to make sure that they offer 0 liability fraud protection when it comes to choosing your credit card. The next question I like to ask is, do they have mobile access? Can I manage my account on the go? Do they have an app? Am I going to be able to pull up the app if I need to make mobile deposits? Am I going to be able to pay my bills online? Am I going to be able to add this account to Apple Payments or Google Payments? You need to know all this information, so that way when it comes time for you to start doing quick transactions, let's say you're applying for different things and they need you to send over your bank statements right away and you're on the go, you need to make sure that you have that access to hop on the app, send it right over to them. And also you want to make sure that when it comes to mobile access, it also allows you to put extra security on your account. So that way when you start making your purchases, it's going to alert you every time a purchase is made. Well, I like to have this feature on mine. I like to know anytime a purchase is made, how much of the purchase was for. I like to get a notification exactly when that purchase went through. So you need to know if they offer that mobile access support. The next thing I like to check for is there going to be a foreign transaction fees? So if you're like me, you do business overseas a lot. So when I say a lot is I manage an Amazon store where I purchase products from China. I have a hair company where I purchase products from China. So I'm getting a lot of different products from China. So I need to know, is there going to be a foreign transaction fee? When I travel, is there going to be a foreign transaction fee? And you also want to know what fees are just associated with this account. So you want to know, is it going to be annual fees? Like what is that rate? Because a lot of the times it can be anywhere from maybe $25 all the way up to around $700, depending on what type of card you have. So you need to know all of the fees that are associated with the card before you apply, because it makes no sense to be applying for a card when you already know you don't like the fees. Yes, there are different ways that you can get around the fees, but sometimes they might not allow you to get around them. So take a look into those fees. And the next thing I'm going to say you need to look for is, what are the benefits of this card? Why should I choose y'all as my card holder? And the benefits that I'm talking about are there travel benefits? Is there different perks, like as far as Uber Eats? They might offer you credit when it comes to purchasing new Apple products, new Dell products. Like, what are the benefits associated with this card? What makes this card better than the next card? And this is a perfect question to get a rep on the phone to explain why their card is superior to other cards. The next question you should be considering is, do you want to go with a rewards card or just a regular business credit card? So what's the difference? So typically with a rewards cards, you can get cash back, earn points for travel, or even earn points for merchandise. So typically with these reward cards, the annual fees are a lot higher. So like how I said, like sometimes you might get $0, $25, $50. Now when you have a very good rewards card, your fees are looking more towards $500 to $600. So it's a huge difference based on your spending habits to see how you're going to earn these points the best. And another thing I'm going to say about the rewards program cards is that they have a higher interest rate. So if you want to have a higher interest rate and have a higher annual fee, then you want to look at the rewards cards, because a lot of times the reward cards, they're very beneficial, and depending on how you use the cards, the benefits will outweigh the fees that you have to pay. But I will take a look into my spending habits to see, does it outweigh it for me? Because everyone's spending habits is different. Like if you travel a lot, it will benefit you to have a travel card because you're going to spend way more money. Like let's say you global entry, TSA pre-check, the different rewards options for booking the hotels, late checkout, early check-in. Like all of these things add up and they're gonna outweigh and be more beneficial than paying the $600. And the last thing you wanna look at is you wanna make sure you ask, what are the things or mistakes that you can make with the card that will revoke your access to either the rewards program or reduce your credit limit? So you need to make sure you have a clear understanding of different do's and don'ts when it comes to these cards, because you don't want to get a late payment and now they're taking your reward section, or you get a late payment and now they're reducing your credit rate. So you want to take into account this question in particular, because you don't want to enter a rewards program and then your rewards get redacted all because you made a late payment. So now you're stuck with a high annual fee, and sometimes they don't let you get out of it unless you cancel the card, and now you have a hit on your credit. So yes, those are my key things to look for when it comes to choosing a business credit card. Those are the top questions you need to be asking. So thank you so much for watching this video today. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, drop that in the comment section below. And also, if you have any questions that you particularly like to ask different credit card companies, you can put that in the comment section below as well, because you never know who you might help. And if you're interested in connecting with the different people on my channel or advertising your business, I do have a free Facebook group called the Side Business Hustle. I also have a motivational text group that you can sign up for, which is texting BOSS to 616-345-1530. Again, that's BOSS to 616-345-1530. And you can also connect with me on all my social media channels, which is I am Destiny Adams on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, pretty much everything. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like I said before, because I do appreciate y'all subscriptions and watching my videos. But yeah, go ahead and stay tuned for the next video. Peace.